Hello, everyone. Robert Yazbek here with Team Yazbek at Coldwell Banker. Excited to have Kathryn Pedersen with us today. Kathryn, how are you?
Good. How are you, Robert?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for joining us again. We spoke, you're one of the first people I spoke to as we headed into the COVID crisis here in Steamboat. And it's been 30 days, and it seems like a year to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I tell everybody it's a time warp. It's like it goes by so fast. Like I would have not guessed that was 30 days ago, but then there's times that the days go slow, and there's times that I'm like, it's already Thursday. What the heck happened to the week? So it's a time warp. That's all I can call it.
Yeah, it really is. I know. Last few weeks have felt faster to me, and yeah, it's been weird for sure. But thanks for joining me again. Obviously, there's a ton of changes, so really appreciate the update. Just to kind of introduce you again, Kathryn Pedersen is with Fidelity Mortgage. She's one of the top local mortgage brokers in Routt County, and someone I've worked with for my entire 14 years in the business. She's a wonderful person, in addition to being a great partner and a good friend at this point. And she can work effectively with any type of client. I've always been really impressed with how Kathryn educates herself and how she's so up on, what's going on with every different type of loan program and all that kind of thing. So no better person to give us an update on what's going on here in these ever-changing times.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah. So first of all, how are you and your family holding up? Got to check in on you.
Doing great. Right now, my family took off camping for a couple days, close by, but still out of the house. So my husband was very excited. The house is a little quiet, but I'm getting a lot done. So that's good too. But everyone's holding up pretty well. I think most people I've talked to have settled in a little, I think.
Yeah. The new normal. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear they're out camping. That's awesome. That'll do them some good, I'm sure. And so how's business? How's your business doing?
Business is good. We are definitely busy. Lots of people refinancing, of course, but also lots of people getting pre-qualified and ready to buy. And I've seen some new contracts that come in. So we're rocking it. I'm glad that I've got a fully functional team. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Excellent. So I think kind of one of the big questions is, what changes have you seen in the mortgage industry in the past 30 days? Give us the update.
Yeah, so a little bit of changes on closing procedure, a little bit, mostly the same as far as hybrid close, lots electronically. Other than that, not a lot of changes in that arena, because that was changing frequently when we last chatted. Mm-hmm. But there definitely has been, with forbearance, that's opened up some risk into the markets. And so we're seeing that a little bit in the pricing. Rates are still great, but that's definitely a consideration. We're doing some final checks right at the end to make sure someone has not lost their job due to COVID. So we're doing some extra verifications and some extra paperwork right at the end of a loan process, but so far that hasn't held us up at all. The other change is that we are seeing some guideline changes due to the increased risk from unemployment. So, where we maybe could go down to, a lower credit score on an FHA USDA deal, they've increased what that minimum is now. So we're just making sure everybody still fits into guidelines,
right?
Keeping up with the guideline changes and those things, but those are the big ones. Jumbo guidelines have also changed significantly. So just trying to keep up with all that.
Right. And it seemed like jumbos were really getting really strict there for a bit. Did it kind of level out a little, or is it just as hard as it's been?
It's gone the full spectrum. So we went from having a ton of great jumbo options to literally no jumbo options,
right,
to now we have a few jumbo options.
Okay.
Definitely more strict, definitely going to be more paper, but overall, at least we do have a couple options. So right. I'm happy for that. So, but we definitely saw that pendulum swing pretty crazily.
And same thing with rates. I was curious, kind of an update there. I mean, we saw, obviously interest rates are super low, but we saw mortgage rates, do this and be in a different direction. What's going on with rates in the past 30 days? Have mortgage rates come a little closer to interest rates?
Yes. So what's happened is the Fed has stepped in to purchase mortgage bonds. And also there was some things on the back end of servicing that have adjusted a little bit over the last month. So the Fed is purchasing mortgage bonds. So the bond chart has been incredibly flat over the last few weeks, which has been great because we had very volatile times, you know, 1.5% change of rate in a day. So things like that were just brutal. But it's very, very flat, which has been helpful for lots and lots of reasons. So the Fed is really taking a light hand and stepping in when they need to keep it flat. So that's been good. You still have, you know, some changes in the servicing side where servicers were having issues because of forbearance. And because keep in mind that causes them a lot of, you know, profitability adjustments and things. So, so we were seeing some issues with that. Some of that's got worked out a little bit. So that's been helpful for rates as well.
Okay, good. So back down a little lower. The cost to get a loan came down a little since we spoke last, hopefully, or since the peak.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Good.
Absolutely. But we're watching things closely. I probably spend 4 hours a week listening to, you know, bond experts and market experts and all of that stuff. So trying to keep on the markets as tightly as we can so we can anticipate these things and these changes.
Awesome. That's great. So what are the opportunities for buyers in the market right now, in your opinion?
You know, it's, I would say rates are low. You know, people are employed. We'll see some properties come on the market, certainly, as we always have more properties come on the market in the summer anyway. No one really wants to move in January unless they have to. I've done it twice and I have no desire to ever do that again. So I think that it's a great time of the year to look for properties. So absolutely getting pre-qualified, I think is a great idea, especially if you've got extra time right now. Do it. Right. Get that piece of the pie done so that you can move on to the next step and get some purchased when the right property comes on. Because the worst is when a great property comes on and you are not ready to jump. Sure. So.
Sure. So take the time to get pre-qualified, start learning about the rates, you know, look to a pro to advise you on what makes sense and take advantage of low rates. Yep.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, it does. Our affordability is better than it has been because of low rates. So even though people are like, oh my gosh, the market's high, well, rates are down. So overall, our affordability is better. So it's a good time.
Yeah, that's an important piece. Excellent. So on the flip side, what are the biggest challenges for buyers in the market right now?
You know, I would say if they are not good at technology, that's going to be hard because everything we're doing is with technology between Doc Portal, e-signing, video. We're doing all of our closings via video. So if you are not good at that, that's going to be some extra work. But most people have been able to navigate that pretty well. And I think other than that, just if you haven't, like, let's say you got pre-qualified a year ago, you want to get that redone just to A, see if it's gone up because of rates, but B, make sure you still fit into the guidelines. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Obviously looking at properties a little more interesting now, you can address that. But overall on the lending side, we're still moving quickly. Things are, you know, almost normal other than we aren't able to meet in person. So,
which is so weird. But that's good to hear that you guys have adapted and there's more opportunities, it sounds like, than challenges perhaps for buyers right now.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Being prepared is huge. And there's definitely a lot of opportunities for buyers right now.
Perfect. So any predictions as to what we might see in the coming weeks or months?
You know, I think rates will be relatively good for a while, which is great news. I think they need to keep them down to keep our economy moving along. Real estate is one of the best parts of the economy right now. So I'm glad to be a part of that and help our economy by saving people money and doing that kind of stuff to keep it moving. But I think, you know, I think we could continue to see unemployment go up a little bit as things kind of work their way out. I think there might be some shifts in employment with PPT and all that, but overall, I think that, you know, I'm predicting a busy summer and a good real estate market. So the good thing about not being able to travel is I can work. So that's
exactly. I know. I've been thinking the same thing. Saving a lot of money on business and personal travel, right?
Yep. Yep.
And more
Absolutely.
time to work. Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, always want to end on a positive note. So how are you keeping a positive mindset these days?
A few things. Every morning, part of my habit is to write down some things I'm grateful for.
Nice.
And my list is long. So sometimes, my family, my team, my work team is always at the top of my list. Living in Steamboat is obviously up there. We live in an
Yeah.
amazing place. And if I have to be hanging out at home, boy, I'm glad it's Steamboat.
Mm-hmm.
And so do that for my mindset, try to watch people who are forward thinking and not watch, the news. I think that for the first few weeks, we were all glued to the news, and that was not good for our mindset. So just trying to dip in to read the headlines really quick so I know the basics, but mostly
Mm-hmm.
listening to economic news and the
Yep.
experts. And that has been also helpful. And then, spring, so good for the mood. So
Yeah.
that definitely has kept me positive as well. And then it's just getting into routine. You have a set routine that you do, and that always gets you moving, and there's no time to slack. So that's always good too, to feel productive every day.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the wisdom and your time.
Anytime. Happy to help.
Thanks everybody for joining us. And until next time, stay positive, be well, and we'll talk to you soon.